Welcome to Brainstorm MTG. I'm ELD, and this is Fast Effect Double Speed Magic the Gathering. Now from ELD's Time Vault Games in Bellingham, Massachusetts. Part of our Wednesday Night Legacy series, been going phenomenal. So happy to see the support from the community. We had 18 players last week on a Wednesday night. I think we're going to be breaking 20 pretty soon. And here we have round one, Brandon on Elves versus John on Aggro Loam. A card that can often come down to Chalice of the Void, but Brandon winning the die roll and having a Cavern of Souls as a trump to a card that can otherwise be very oppressive. See if it's Chalice or perhaps a Dark Confidant. And Dark Confidant, yes. Swinging for one from Brandon. Does he have a forest to go along with this Quirion Ranger? Horizon Canopy, no. So Quirion Ranger just a beat stick right now. Oh no, that must have been not a Horizon Canopy. Must be a Expedition fetch land perhaps. Green Sun Zenith for one. Getting Dryad Arbor. Blocker for Dark Confidant if need be. And a Nettle Sentinel, Liliana of the Veil. Now this is definitely a matchup where you'd feel much better about having the Last Hope over Liliana of the Veil. It's going to be difficult to defend Lily here. Brandon can swing out, take her down. Llanowar Elf, along with Quirion Ranger. Gaia's Cradle. And things are getting serious real fast. Natural Order. Brandon grabbing Craterhoof, so this escalated very quickly. And we've got a +4/+4. And that will do it. +4/+4 and trample to all of those guys. An extra 17 damage out of nowhere. And that is what Elves does best. So very well done by Brandon. John, not a lot of ability to have counterplay there. Elves closing the window just so quickly. Dark Confidant does set up a long drawn-out game, as does Liliana of the Veil, and Elves does not have time for that. Liliana of the Last Hope can do a lot of work versus Elves, but even her, I mean, in that situation, it would have played out exactly the same. So even a card as merciless as Liliana of the Veil versus a deck full of 1/1s, Elves can definitely be able to go wide enough that losing a guy, certainly on one turn, but even a couple of turns, 2-3 turns back to back, they can potentially survive that. Of course, Glimpse of Nature, one of the most dangerous cards in the deck, allowing you to really just kind of storm off, chaining elf into elf with the help of Nettle Sentinel and either Heritage Druid or Birchlore Rangers. Elves kind of has it all. It actually feels a lot like a vintage deck if you think about it. It has really everything you need in terms of blue decks, but it doesn't have any blue cards. So you've got the card drawing engine in the form of Wirewood Symbiote and Elvish Visionary to be able to pick it up and put it down. You also get some other utility from Symbiote, but that's a major draw engine. Of course, Glimpse of Nature is a extremely powerful draw engine, along with all of the 1-mana dorks. In that instance, you're using the Heritage Druid or Birchlore Ranger and Nettle Sentinels to potentially just really run out all of the elves, drawing into more elves. A couple of glimpses means that you're drawing 2 cards every time you play an elf, and yeah, it gets out of hand real fast. It has fast mana in the form of Gaia's Cradle and even all your mana dorks. It has a Tinker effect in terms of Natural Order. Tutoring with Green Sun Zenith. I mean, it really does have a lot of extremely broken things. It's definitely the bluest non-blue deck, I would say. And Llanowar Elf leading out for Brandon here. Grove of the Burn Willows. Does he have a Punishing Fire to go along with it? Nice. And Chalice at 1. Not give Elves all day. Looks like a land in Brandon's hand there that he didn't play. Potential reasoning for that. Yeah, it looks like perhaps Dryad Arbor at the front of the hand. So hard to completely shut Elves down. And there is the Punishing Fire. And I think Brandon now forced to play the Dryad Arbor. I thought what he may have been doing is playing around Punishing Fire. Looks like he's going to potentially just let John play right through it. Actually, Liliana being used to tick down, killing Dryad Arbor. This is looking very bad for Brandon. Punishing Fire going to be able to come back to hand with Grove of the Burn Willows, really making Liliana one-sided if John wants to go that route. And instead he discards Knight of the Reliquary. Interesting. Doesn't have the white mana for it yet. Mox Diamond. You got to imagine that Dark Confidant would allow fairly soon for a knight to come into play. Instead we've got Garrick, Relentless, piling on, and that does seem to be what we're looking at here, just a Relentless piling on by Aggro Loam. Now, one thing that can happen with a deck like Elves, if they can get to 3 mana, actually 4 mana I should say, and then drop a Dryad Arbor, they can use that in natural order. Will not have a chance to respond to the Dryad Arbor. It doesn't use the stack. So it can be very difficult to actually completely close them out. They always have that potential for Tinker if they can build a mana base, but Brandon totally unable to build a mana base thus far. Wasteland adding on even more bad news. This is looking very, very lopsided. And that is enough. Brandon still with plenty of time for game 3. Moving on, he's certainly seen enough. So a couple of really severe games. Game 1, Brandon showing just incredible speed. And game 2, John showing just brutality on the side of Aggro Loam. Chalice of the Void totally shutting things down. Liliana making any type of recovery extremely difficult. Even if there was a Cavern of Souls on the other side of the table, pretty difficult to deal with recursive creature removal in that context. It's going to be incredibly hard to get the ball rolling. See what Brandon's able to do with the play. Chipping it back. Brandon done really really well by finding a list that he's happy with. Did notice a real change in his win percentage once he started playing Elves over some of the other brews that he had been messing with. And I may be jinxing him here. He's going down to 5. This is extremely rough. We do see a natural order though. That could be good. Llanowar Elves. Elves really wants acceleration on the first turn, no matter what. Chalice of the Void coming down. Guy's Cradle. Dryad Arbor from Aggro Loam here into Dark Confidant. Confidant gonna hope to start pulling ahead. Another land. John doesn't miss his land drops, builds a nice solid mana base and contend with whatever Brandon comes up with here. Happy to send in the 1/1 Dryad Arbor, but hesitant on the Dark Confidant. I don't know about that decision. I feel like that might be totally fine. Trade Dark Confidant here for all of the mana. That would essentially leave Brandon with just a single forest for mana, eliminating all of the utility of Gaia's Cradle. And a face-down creature, what could that be? That has to be Birchlore Ranger. That guy does all sorts of work. So he is a 2/2. He unmorphs for 1 green, but I think you'd rather just have him as a big old beefy morph here. Charges up Cradle a little bit. Brandon now has access to 4 mana. And not blocking the 1/1. Not sure what he would be playing around there. And Natural Order. Yeah, not going to be able to sack Birchlore there. He's not green. Okay, yeah, the Llanowar Elf. And Progenitus. Protection from everything. That is 2 turns. He has the Birchlore Ranger to deal with Edict effects, such as Liliana. Ooh, Abrupt Decay. Could clear the way for Liliana here and just mop up this Progenitus. Craterhoof may have been better. Would have swung for 7 and 4, 11 damage. Tough to say. Oh, savage. Toxic Deluge. Paying 10 life. Setting Brandon down to just a forest. That Cradle totally dead. That is brutal. So yeah, Craterhoof would have been way better. That is super rough. Craterhoof would have eliminated the ability to pay all of that life. Wow. What a blowout card. Toxic Deluge taking out Progenitus. You do not see that very often. 2 mana Elvish Visionary. Okay, drawing. We got some mana. Back to 4 mana. Oh, Swords. Was that a Swords to Plowshares? What just killed that? I hope that wasn't Swords to Plowshares. There's definitely a Chalice at 1 out. Not an Exile, so I'm guessing that's not what it was. Horizon Canopy being... Oh, that's not Horizon Canopy. That is a fetch land. Really looks like a Horizon Canopy to me. So a fetch land grabbing Dryad Arbor. Natural Order would be back online here. Craterhoof would close it out. 3 mana, 4 mana. Green Sun Zenith. Or Reclamation Sage, and that unlocks a lot of potential here. Cabal Pit taking out the Rec Sage. Grove of the Burn Willows along with Punishing Fire in the graveyard. And Life from the Loam returning 3 lands. Ball Pit is one of them. A lot of crowd control going on here. Glimpse. Double Glimpse. I think we're in for a turn here. Quirion Ranger, 2 cards drawn. Returning to untap Dryad Arbor into Heritage Druid. 2 more. Can we get a Nettle Sentinel? Punishing Fire. Thrown at that. Not sure where the floating mana came from, but we've got Quirion Rangers and Wirewood Symbiote now. Symbiote, a major problem. Didn't look like he had 3 elves on board at any point for the Heritage Druid to be able to tap. Another Cradle. Now 5 mana. Into Natural Order, and that should do it with a green mana floating. Craterhoof alone getting into the red zone will do it. And an incredible back and forth match here between John and Brandon. This has been Fast Effect. Thanks for watching.